Can you hear me now? I want to welcome you this morning on this Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers present, and certainly all of us are thinking of our own fathers and maybe even grandfathers on this day and expressing thoughts of love and thankfulness for the example they set for us. My father was the most honorable man I ever knew. So, I am wearing an orange t-shirt, and I bet you can guess why. This is an Indigenous-centered service today, and this is the shirt that I wear on September 30th on Orange Shirt Day. And at the risk of boring you, I'll remind you of the story of the young girl that was captured from her family, taken to one of those infamous schools in British Columbia. She was wearing the orange shirt that her grandmother had given her, and that shirt was her pride and joy. And it was ripped from her, torn up, and she was told that she wasn't that person anymore. So on September 30th, we remember that girl's orange shirt and the terrible things that, with the best of intentions, really, the terrible things that we did to Indigenous children. So Anne has prepared this service, and I'm just the talking head that's going to deliver it, and I hope I do that well. I'm honored that she would entrust me with this. I'm going to tell you a story about Anne, and I thought she was going to be here this morning. I wanted her to remind her of this. When she first became a minister, she was assigned to a pretty rough and tumble rural congregation in northern Ontario. And one of the traditions in that congregation is that when a new minister arrived, the men of the congregation would take them out fishing on the local lake. And one of the other traditions was that they would test the patience of the incoming minister by telling jokes, some of them somewhat risque. So Anne went fishing with these gentlemen, and they started telling their jokes, and they became increasingly more questionable as time went on, until finally Anne had had enough. So she stepped out of the boat and walked to shore. And I'm sorry she wasn't here for that story. That's always been one of my favorite jokes. So today I'm going to teach you how to say Nin din a magan I dak. So let's do it a syllable at a time. Nin, din, a, magan I dak. Nin din a magan I dak. We are all one. Now, I don't know whether that's Anishinaabeg, Cree, or Ojibwa, or whatever language it is, but that's what it means, and that's what this service is all about. We are all one in so many ways. So we've done that, and then we go to the land acknowledgement. Now, this was written by a young man named Philip Cote, as you can see on the board. He is a junior elder, artist, activist, historian, and traditional wisdom keeper. He's from Moose Deer Point First Nation. I'm not exactly sure where that is, but these are his words. Humber Valley United Church would like to acknowledge our presence on the land that has been traditional territory of Indigenous peoples since time immemorial. As we reach back to those early ancestors, we remember our mother, the earth, through the 7 grandfather teachings: wisdom, bravery, respect, honesty, truth, humility, and love. The stories of these nations endure and continue to guide our thoughts and actions on this land. We recognize the medicine wheel and its teachings, We recognize the four directions, north, south, east, and west, and the four seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter. It is these four seasons that represent the circle of life. Nin din a magan I dak. Nin din a magan I dak. We are all one. So on this, I've got several schedules in front of me that I'm trying to coordinate. We're going to now sing our gathering hymn, O Beautiful Gaia. It will appear on the screen. And thank you, ladies, for leading us in this. We need your help.
Oh, beautiful Gaia, oh, Gaia calling us home. Oh, beautiful Gaia calling us home. Waves crashing on granite, oh, Gaia calling us home. Waves crashing on granite, calling us home. Pine bending in windstorm, oh, Gaia calling us home. Pine bending in windstorm, calling us home. Blue nesting in marshland, oh, Gaia calling us home. Blue nesting in marshland, calling us home. Sun sparkling on Humber, oh, Gaia calling us home. Sun sparkling on Humber, calling us home. Oh, beautiful Gaia, oh, Gaia calling us home. Oh, beautiful Gaia calling us home.
Please be seated. Who can tell me who Gaia is? Mother Earth, the goddess of earth. Exactly. That's why that song is so very appropriate. Okay. Making sure my three schedules are coordinated. I will begin with the call to worship and the prayer of approach. Let us pray, God, by whatever name we call you and however we experience you in our individual lives. We come here today ready to celebrate your presence. As we gather together, open our hearts to hear your voice. Birds, in the rustle of leaves, in the warmth of the sun and the gentle rain, in the wisdom of other peoples and cultures. Connection and oneness. Thank you for this time of prayer, reflection, and learning. And now, although it's not, it is on the screen, the prayer of confession and affirmation. Before God, with the people of God, I confess to my fears and failings. By the way I wound my life, the lives of others, and the life of the world. May God forgive you, Christ renew you, and the Spirit enable you to grow in love with the whole church. With people everywhere. With all creation. And now I invite you to participate in that time-honored traditional practice, the passing of the peace. And I say to you, peace be with you. And you say back, and that's what we'll do. So please stand. The peace of God be with you. There are several announcements I need to share with you, and a lot of it is pretty exciting news. Starting with next Sunday, don't miss this. Amelie's voice is truly unbelievable, and she honors Edith Piaf in the way she sings. I am so looking forward to this. Remember, we got ripped off. At the last concert, she only sang one piece instead of both of them. So this is a chance to compensate for that. I am very impressed with this young woman. If you know anything of her background as a scholar, as a singer, as a musician, as a teacher, I think she teaches at the Sorbonne remotely, the University of Paris. She teaches remotely. An incredible blessing to this congregation to have her among us. And then on Sunday, June 28th, it's going to be a service of hugs, because we say goodbye to our beloved Kate Brown. It is her last official day with us as a paid member of our congregation. So we're going to have a party at 4 p.m. on Sunday the 28th. A reception will follow. And guess what we will have at the reception? Nope. Cake, of course. This is Humber Valley. Of course there's cake. And I checked, and there will be cake. And there will be some bubbly stuff as well. So please join us to say goodbye to Kate in her official capacity at least, and get a hug. And then I want to announce that the Great Lake Orchestra will be performing at Humber Valley United Church on Friday, the 26th of June at 7 p.m. Who can tell me the name of the conductor of the Great Lake Orchestra? I'll give you a hint. So that's one good reason for attending. And the bonus is that singing at that concert will be Amelie again. So there's two wonderful reasons. And these are mostly young people in the orchestra. So let's encourage them as well. How do you get a ticket? Well, if you're adventurous and you're good with the internet, you can go to Eventbrite and buy the ticket, or, and this is what I recommend, just show up. The tickets are $45. It enables Anton to work with these young people and help them grow through music. And apparently, through music, young people really do grow. It's one of the most effective ways of producing fine adults. Yeah.
What day is
It's Friday, next Friday, 26th at 7 p.m. So we're going to have Emily, she will sing, it's a surprise what she will sing. Please come and you will find out. We will have, this is, actually I am very honored to present it. One of the soloists is Louis. He is 9 years old, but he will perform with orchestra an extraordinary, it's very difficult, musically very difficult piece. And he's playing not even 2 years. In September, there will be 2 years he's playing violin. What he has, his progress is something extraordinary. It's really amazing. Please come and see it. I also will have some other soloists. And yes, there is some surprise. I will not give you all the information now, so you can be surprised on the concert. So please come.
Thank you, Anton. I don't see any little ones here today that would be going to Sunday school, but as you know, we have Vivia and Ava, who are here most Sundays, both of them, to work with the young children if they want to leave, but I don't think that's going to be happening today. Those are all the announcements, and now I'm going to turn it over to Anton, who has some special music for us.
The special music will be a piece. One of the first times here, I played this piece by Fritz Kreisler. And it's called Beautiful Rosemary. And of course there is, and when we're talking about Fritz Kreisler, there is always some romantic story behind. So the story is he fell in love with a person whose nickname was Rosemary. He was a very shy person, very nice, but very shy, and he could not express, but with words. But when he played, everything was very clear. So.
The scripture reading this morning is taken from the 96th Psalm, verses 11 and 12. Let the heavens be glad, and let the earth rejoice. Let the sea roar and all that fills it. Let the fields exult and everything in it. Then shall all the trees of the forest sing for joy. I would invite you now to stand and join us and the ladies in singing a Dakota hymn. It's in Voices United number 308, but the words are on the screen. And I think if you listen carefully as we play and sing this hymn, it has a definite indigenous flavor to it.
Play through the melody.
Okay? If you get a chance to warm up, learn the melody, great. Please be seated. Once again, Nin Din Ah, Magan E Dok. Nin Din Ah, Magan E Dok. We are all one. This reflection was written by Anne, and it's interesting, you know, sometimes when you read something written by someone else, it doesn't fit your brain the way you would say it. I have none of those issues with Anne. I read this through the first time and I say, yeah, I get that. I've been the MC at the concerts at Richview where I was given notes to read and I had to change them in places. No changes. We're on the same page. So I'm looking forward to sharing this with you, and I'm honored once again that she has given me this opportunity. We are going to talk today about Celtic spirituality, as Anne has been doing for several weeks, and Indigenous wisdom. And look for a way forward as one by combining these two. My biggest ask of humans is quite large, said the northern bat to a room of reindeer, wolf lichen, bog, and other beings. It's a shift in consciousness and an understanding that we are all in relation. Talking bats and lichen, this sounds like a scene from a Disney movie. It's understandable. In fact, this is a transcript of a recent interspecies council that took place in the little town of Oppdal in Norway. Each year, humans gather to imagine what non-humans might have to say about the ecological issues facing their region. Begun in the 1980s by two Norwegian environmentalists, the Council's aim is not to stand in the way of development, but to ask, what would our use of land, water, and other natural resources look like if all life forms who depend on it had a say? Events such as the Interspecies Council seek to acknowledge what indigenous peoples have always known. Everything is connected. Human beings are just one part of creation. We are all dependent on each other and every other living thing. These ideas are intrinsic to indigenous teaching and culture, and they were reflected in the beautiful land acknowledgement that we read earlier by artist and junior elder Philip Cote. Now, as Christians in 2026, we acknowledge that many of our traditional church teachings have promoted domination and exclusion, proclaiming who is inside and outside the love of God has led to some of our greatest tragedies. And viewing stewardship as synonymous with ownership has wreaked havoc on our environment. But buried in our past is another way of being God's people in the world. A way that did affirm Nindin a Magani Dok. We are all one. All are my relations. All are one. So let's go back to ancient Rome, and this will be familiar because Anne's talked about it before. It's the year 330 of the Christian era, and arriving in Rome is a strange, shambling Christian teacher from what we now call Britain, bringing with him to this busy urban center a theology imbued in nature, inclusion, and walking humbly with God. Pelagius wanders the city preaching that human beings are part of creation, but not the lords of it. He sits with women as they spin and weave, teaching them to read and talking about Scripture. Pelagius describes humans as essentially good, but we fall short. We live unskillfully, but we carry an unquenchable divine spark, planted more deeply than all that is wrong. Pelagius wonders if anyone needs these grand church buildings, erected at huge cost of human life and resources. Do we really need priests and bishops to facilitate our relationship with God? Christians in his homeland meet among the trees, gathering in circles that honor everyone as equals in the sight of God. Pelagius insists that guidance and wisdom exist in every heart. Sacred presence reaches out to us from every rock and river, blossom and beast. In 2026, this way of knowing God and living in creation may sound like a breath of fresh air. To the church authorities in Rome, it was terrifying. Christianity had only just become the state religion. Overnight, we'd gone from renegades to rulers. Our leaders are now sitting at the emperor's table, choosing doctrine and establishing a hierarchy of authority and control. Women are excluded. They were essential in the early church, but women aren't welcome in Roman corridors of power. And Pelagius isn't welcome either. He continually refers to Christ as teacher and companion, where the official correct terms are Lord, King, and Conqueror. Teacher and companion versus Lord, King, and Conqueror. Creation is subservient to mankind, and human beings are sinful at heart. That's the official doctrine. Their only hope is the salvation offered by God through the one Orthodox Church. There isn't room for two perspectives. Not if we want to take full advantage of the government's backing. To continue to share in the power of authority, we need to stay aligned with the empire. Pelagius was angrily pronounced a heretic, and his theology of interconnectedness, blasphemy. Pelagius was banished from Rome, and anyone who spoke of him was threatened with immediate excommunication. But Pelagius' idea of our place in the world didn't vanish. Celtic Christian spirituality, as we now call it, was enthusiastically practiced for another 700 years in parts of Germany, throughout England, Scotland, Ireland, and some Nordic countries, until Orthodox Church authorities finally drove it underground. No more would Christian ministers proclaim God's goodness at the heart of creation. No more did we recognize divine essence in trees and lakes, or preach our interconnectedness to each other and the natural world. And I've got to find the right page here. There it is. This is not to say that imperial Christianity, as we might call what first developed in Rome, and which we largely inherited, is not to say it didn't accomplish anything valuable. Christians have often used our power for good, creating educational institutions, hospitals, and hospices, and leading the charge for social justice in many ways throughout our history. But the theology of domination, adopted so long ago, fostered an attitude of superiority and entitlement, separating us from each other and the world of nature. Now, in the painful work of reconciliation, we have been given the opportunity to see how some of our beliefs have caused us to wound our lives, the lives of others, and the life of the world. In this moment, many of us feel ready to reclaim a theology that recognizes our interconnectedness, a worldview indigenous peoples have always known. Today, their teaching invites us to open ourselves to new relationships and voices, sometimes of a surprising kind. In 2021, the residents of Econistit, a First Nations band of about 500 people located at the mouth of the Mingan River in Quebec, gathered with local municipal authorities to make an extraordinary decision. They gave a stretch of their local river, the Mutehekauskipa, sorry about that, or Magpie River, that's easier to say, legal personhood and rights. Stretch of the river was given legal personhood and rights. Now, this is a tactic the corporations had used for years to shield themselves from lawsuits. And these people were smart enough to realize, hey, we can use that to save our river. The first revolution of its kind in Canada, and I think the only one so far. We have always known that the river is alive. Our ancestors always said that, explains Innu activist, poet, and educator Rita Mustakoshu. If the river is sick, then we will all be sick. That is why we need to protect her. Giving legal status to the river not only acknowledges the right of all creation to exist and flourish, it also brings an essential viewpoint to development plans that can seek to be good for us all. Speaking about reconciliation, Australian Indigenous author, teacher, and activist Lilla Watson insists, if you come to help me, you're wasting your time. But if you come because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together. See the difference? If you come to help me, you're wasting your time. But if you are here to work with me and me with you, then we can accomplish something. Among the gifts of reconciliation is humbly acknowledging that not only our survival, but our liberation is bound up in laying down our attitudes of domination and separation. While sermons preached by northern bats or meadow daisies may not be in our immediate future, we can recapture the ancient teachings of our Celtic Christian ancestors, who saw divine goodness and sacred presence in all creation. We can uplift the wisdom of our indigenous peoples and see ourselves as one part of the intricate web of all existence. And together we can proclaim Nin Din A Magan E Dog. Again, Nin Din A Magan E Dog. We are all relations. We are all one. So thank you, Anne, for those insights. We are now going to ask the ushers to take up the offering, and something really interesting is going to happen during the collection of the offering, and I'll just let you read it from the screen. very interesting. I'm now going to offer the prayers of the people. This was adapted from Touch the Earth Lightly, Voices United 307 by Shirley Arena Murray. Creator God, help us to touch the earth lightly, use the earth gently, and nourish the life of the world in our care. Let there be greening, birth from the burning, water that blesses, and air that is sweet. Health in God's garden, hope for all peoples, regeneration that peace will complete. God of all living, God of all loving, God of the seeding, the snow, and the sun, teach us, deflect us, Christ reconnect us, using us gently and making us one. I invite you now to join us in the closing hymn, one that's well known to all of us. This is God's Wondrous World.
This is God's wondrous world, and to my listening ears, all nature sings and round me rings the music of the spheres. This is God's wondrous world. I rest me in the thought of rocks and trees, of skies and seas, but and the wonders wrought. This is God's wondrous world. The birds their carols raise, the morning light, the lily white, declare their Maker's praise. This is God's wondrous world. God shines in all that's fair, in the rustling grass and the mountain paths. God's voice speaks everywhere. This is God's wondrous world. Oh, let me ne'er forget that though the wrong seems oft so strong, God is the ruler yet. This is God's wondrous world. Why should my heart be sad? Let voices sing, let the heavens ring. God reigns, let earth be glad.
And now may I offer these words of benediction. It is a traditional Celtic blessing with an indigenous blessing insert. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. May in every moment you know the peace of God's presence within and all around. Deep peace to you. Nin din a magan idog. Together. Nin din a magan idog.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
last time. Nindin A, Magan E Dak. Wonderful Ojibwe, Cree, or Anishinaabeg lessons this morning. Thank you for your patience, and God bless you.